it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with another cozy mystery vlog. In this cozy mystery vlog, I am going to be reading 3 books that are the first book in new cozy mystery series. And the purpose of this reading vlog for me is to find out if I actually want to continue in these particular series. I always know the second book is a little bit of a slump for me, and I want to see if the first book pulls me into the series. And also, before we get started, I wanted to show you my new plant I got today. So you saw me at Lowe's earlier. I went with my husband. I was hoping to start our fall garden, but they didn't have any seeds there. But they did have this bird's nest fern, which I'm very excited about. I have had one before. I had it in my classroom, and it lived many years, and then it was no longer with us anymore. So I have this new baby, and I haven't picked a name yet, but I'm leaning towards Eddie because Stranger Things. But yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and name it Eddie. And I absolutely love it. It's so cute, and I love this pot. So yeah, so woo. So meet Eddie, and now let's talk about the books I'm gonna be reading in this vlog. All right, so like I said, these are all first books in a cozy mystery series, so I really have no background knowledge about these. The first one is Pint of No Return by Dana Mentink. This is the first book in the Shake Shop mystery series. Cute little book, has a recipe for Trinidad key lime ice cream in the back. There are a lot of words on the page, so but yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I thought it would be a fun one to read in summer. Like, who doesn't like an ice cream shop, you know? But then also on my 22 books that I want to read this year in 2022, I have Dial A for Aunties. And I got this book released last year, and I know the second book is already out, but I really honestly have forgotten the premise of this book, other than it has to do with this woman right here and her aunties, like her Asian aunties. So it says, what happens when you mix one accidental murder with 2,000 wedding guests and then toss in a possible curse on 3 generations of an immigrant Chinese Indonesian family? You get 4 meddling Asian aunties coming to the rescue. So I'm really excited about that one because I've heard really good things. And then the last one was one that I wasn't interested in it. I got rid of it, and now I was like, okay, maybe I am interested in it. So I picked up a copy of Arsenic and Adobo off of Pango Books. Got it in the mail a couple days ago, and I was like, I need to add it because it is a book of the month copy. And I was like, I am not having my book of the month books pile up. So between like this coming into my life recently, this being on the 22 books that I want to read in 2022, and this one being on my summer TBR, I was like, let's just read all 3 cozy mysteries and see if I actually want to continue in the series. So I'm gonna start with Pint of No Return, and then we'll see which one I read next. But if you've read any of these, let me know your thoughts, non-spoilery, down in the comment section down below. And then as you watch this video, I will be sharing my thoughts. That's kind of how this thing works, you know? I'm here with a reading update of Pint of No Return. Ignore that stuff in the background. That's my pack, and I kind of had a little bit of a yard sale happen. I threw everything out of my pack, and I need to repack it. Pint of No Return, I actually haven't had that much time to read today. I just got in from doing a little bit of yard work. Then I took a shower to spray off the bug spray and the grass and the dirt and all of that. So I'm gonna make a little snack and dive back in. Wish I had some really delicious ice cream. I do not. So we'll see what I end up having. But I did read the first chapter, which was 14 pages. And this kind of reminds me I mean, I don't know if this is common, but you're usually following like a female sleuth in cozy mystery series. At least all of the ones that I'm reading or have read. And this one, our main character's name is Trinidad, and she has moved to Sprocket, Oregon, and she's kind of nestled in the mountains, and she's in the process of opening up an ice cream shop. She moved there. It used to be her ex-husband's hot dog place, so she's renovating it, and she has these like two twins that are like 15 years old that are helping her like name the milkshakes and paint the walls and stuff like that. But this town that she's in, she's hoping that the tourists and stuff like that will be drawn to her ice cream shop. It's also a little awkward because her ex-husband's ex-wives are also living in the same town. She has met one of them. I'm assuming she's going to meet the other one as well. Don't know who the murderer is. I don't know who's been murdered yet, but I'm sure someone is going to be murdered, and I just hope it's not on opening day of her ice cream shop. So yeah, I really don't know too much, you know, except for that her husband was a douchebag, and he was actually dating these women, or married to these women, married to one, dating the other women at the same time. All right, I quickly wanted to update you on Pint of No Return. I'm about to go outside and listen to a little bit more. I was able to get this on Hoopla. I'm not loving this. I'm kind of struggling to sit for long periods of time and actually read it. I did read a little bit more last night. I made it to page like 56 or 57, and the story's not like bad. I'm just not like drawn to the main character, and there's a lot going on. I'm hoping it's just because like maybe I'm not in the mood to read, or I just finished that other cozy mystery reading vlog. I don't know. All right, friends, I'm here with a reading update, and it's probably not going to be one that you expect. I definitely was not expecting things to go in this direction, but I'm going to be DNFing Pint of No Return by Dana Mentink. This is the first book in a new cozy mystery series, the Shake Shop Mystery Series. And I absolutely love milkshakes, but that is not enough to pull me into the story. I did manage to read it to chapter 6, but I've been working on this for, is it 2 days or 3 days? I think this is the 3rd day. I don't know, 2 or 3 days. I can't even remember at this point, but I haven't made it very far. I realize that. So maybe I'm not giving it a fair shot. But the plot and the characters and just like the overall story is not holding my attention. There is a lot of characters, and I would say that maybe that's the problem, is I'm not keeping a character list. But when I was reading the Campers and Criminals series, there was also a new town with a whole bunch of residents, and I was able to keep them straight. And I'm not really liking the town, the setting, even though it might be better like as you get further into the series or even into the book. But for right now, it's just kind of putting me into a reading slump. I mean, yes, I could push my way through this and it could probably end up being like a 3 stars, but I just don't want to get bored with cozy mysteries. Cozy mysteries are supposed to be fun and light and like, I don't know, kind of like a little bit of an escape from like darker thrillers, like which I normally read and stuff. So unfortunately, DNFing Pint of No Return, and obviously that means I will not be continuing on in the series. Hey friends, just checking in. Sadly, I'm going to be DNFing Pint of No Return, and on the next slide, I'm going to put a poll for my next cozy mystery, and I need you to vote which one I should read. All right, we'll see what the vote says in an hour. I did post on my Instagram, running out of reading time for the day, so let's see. It's only been up for 36 minutes, but 60-40 split arsenic and adobo 60/40. So it looks like I'm going to be reading Arsenic and Adobo, which I'm excited about because it is a book of the month copy and I'm trying to not have those pile up on my shelf. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into this one, and I will check in once I know a little bit more about the synopsis and how I'm feeling about it. They knew I was going to need a glossary and pronunciation guide. Oh, it's so in-depth. Thank you so much. Chapter 1. All right, friends, I'm here to give you a reading update. First, let's talk about the Instagram poll. It has officially been 9 hours that the poll has been up, and it is almost split evenly. Arsenic and Adobo got 48% of the vote, and Dial A for Aunties got 52% of the vote. But as you saw earlier, when it was about like 38 minutes into the poll, Arsenic and Adobo was winning. So that is what I started, and I'm happy to report that I am enjoying it. I'm not very far. I like just started it, but it's so good so far. So much better than the start of A Pint of No Return. So I have high hopes for this one. I'm gonna do a little bit more reading now. I just got off of an hour phone call with Megan from Megan's Bookish Life podcast. She was so much fun to talk to and connect to and talk about books, and it really just improved my mood so much. So yeah, so now I'm going to read a little bit more. Oh, and the good thing about the poll is I'm going to be reading both books, you guys. You just don't know that yet until now. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and read more of Arsenic and Adobo, and then I will let you know more of my thoughts as I continue reading it. Hello friends, I just got back from Barnes & Noble. Sorry I didn't take you with me. I honestly kind of forgot that I was vlogging for my cozy mystery reading vlog, but let's do an update first. I decided to pick up Arsenic and Adobo, and I haven't been making my way through it very quickly, but steadily, which is nice. I'm on page 114, and so far I'm enjoying it. It's not like blowing me away, but I think I definitely want to continue on in the series. I have decided that I will sell my book of the month copy once I'm done with it, because I want to collect all of the books in paperback. And when I went to Barnes & Noble, I did see the first 2 books there. I believe the 3rd book comes out either September or October. So yeah, I put all 3 of those books of this series on my wish list for now, until I at least finish the first book and decide once and for all if I do want to continue. But I feel like I'm gonna want to continue. Yeah, so I really don't have anything to say about it. It's basically about this family restaurant that serves someone and they end up dying, and it's because they found poison in the food, and obviously nobody in the restaurant had anything to do with it, or the woman serving him, because like, why would you want to shut down your own restaurant? Like, that's stupid. So now you're just trying to figure out like who poisoned him and why. And I already think I know, because there was like, oh, this person was doing this and that was very suspicious. And I was like, well, obviously that's the person that did it, you guys. So yeah, it's all about that, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm loving the authenticity of the language, of the food, and all of that. I love the glossary. That's really helped me a lot. Okay, but like I said, I did go to Barnes & Noble. I went there for some stationery. So I picked up this beautiful stationery. I was gonna go to the Hallmark store, which is like it's in the same shopping center, but it doesn't open until 12 today. And I was just really impatient because I wanted to get started on my letter, because it's me and my husband's anniversary on Monday. So I wanted to write him a nice heartfelt letter. So I needed some good stationery, and I just thought this was really cute. And obviously I will use this for other purposes as well. And then, because I love my patrons so freaking much, I also saw this adorable owl stationery, and it's these little cards, and it also has like the envelopes. I don't know if you can see. There you go, but it has the little owl on the card and the envelopes, and they're blank inside. So anything with owls that I can get to send to my night owls, I'm all about that life. And then because I was at Barnes & Noble, like I didn't even realize this book was out yet. Mr. Perfect on Paper by Jean Meltzer, which I'm so excited about. I'm not sure exactly when I'm gonna read this. I might honestly save this for like November or December, because I read their first book, the Matzo Ball, in December of last year, and I absolutely loved it. So I was like, yeah, I definitely have to pick up their next book, because I love like Jewish main characters and stuff, and all of her books I'm sure are gonna have Jewish main characters. The perfect Jewish husband should be a doctor or a lawyer, preferably a doctor, baggage free, no previous marriages or children, and of course he must be Jewish. And of course, so the main character is a creator and CEO of the popular Jewish dating app JMate, matchmaker, knows the formula for lasting love, at least for everyone else. But when it comes to her own love life, she's been idling indefinitely until she gets this checklist from her bubby, the perfect Jewish husband, and then Chris Steadfast, a news anchor, proposes they turn Dara's search into a must-see TV. And then a non-Jewish single dad comes like into the picture, which basically is the opposite of this list. And it's gonna be their romance. And I'm so excited. So excited. So if you haven't read this author's first book, The Matzo Ball, and you just want like a Jewish holiday rom-com, you need to immediately go look into that book. And I'm gonna read this later on this year and let you know what I think about this one, but I already have like all the squealing feelings about it. And then Book of the Month chose this as one of their books, but I was a little hesitant to take a chance on it with my Book of the Month box because it was gonna ship my box late. But somehow, the more I didn't choose it, I wanted to add it to my box, but it was already too late, you know? So I'm sure some of you out there have done that. You're like, crap, I should have. And I was like, I'm gonna wait for reviews and then see what I think. But no, I wanted the book really, really bad. So I got The Devil Takes You Home by Gabino Iglesias. And I love the cover. It's so like striking. And I was a little worried that I wasn't gonna be able to find it there, because I went to the horror section. I wasn't in the horror section. I went to the mystery thriller section, wasn't there. Went to the general fiction section, looked there, couldn't find it. Went to like their new release section, couldn't find it there. And then finally I had to ask for help. And the lady was like, yeah, we have one more copy, it's right here. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm really, really excited to have this in my possession. It just sounds like it's gonna be really, really unique. And it also says, this is what like sold me that I needed to get this book. The very last paragraph right here says, The Devil Takes You Home is a panoramic odyssey for fans of S.A. Cosby's Southern noir blacktop wasteland by way of the boundary-defying storytelling of Stephen Graham Jones and Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I was like, okay, so basically you have to come home with me. Riley Sager is a New York Times bestselling author of 6 novels, including The House Across the Lake. His first novel, Final Girls, has been published in 30 countries and won the ITW Thriller Award for Best Hardcover Novel. A native of Pennsylvania, he now lives in Princeton, New Jersey. In addition to writing, Riley enjoys reading, movies, and baking. His favorite film is Rear Window, or maybe Jaws, but probably, if he's being honest, Mary Poppins. So, classic questions right off the bat. Have you read any other Riley Sager books, and will you read any of their future releases based on your experience with The House Across the Lake? Hello friends, I'm here with a reading update. I did not update you guys at all yesterday. It was my anniversary and I did read, but I didn't really have time to update you guys. So I started reading with my morning coffee yesterday, and just as I had time throughout the day, I finished up Arsenic and Adobo by 𝒑𝒏𝒌𝒔. This is a Filipino American restaurant cozy mystery. It's Tita Rosa's kitchen mystery. So this is obviously the first book, and the second book is out, and I think the third book comes out in like September or October. And I did get this book of the month copy off of Pango Books, but I didn't realize that the other books are not in hardcover. They're only in paperback. So I am going to be selling this on my Pango Books so I can get just all of the paperback books so that they all match. I ended up rating this one 3 stars. I really did enjoy it. I thought that it's almost like the positives were also the negatives. So I know like large family, close-knit families, the aunties and all of that is a huge part of Filipino American culture or just Filipino culture. And there was a large cast of characters in here, but because of that, it also made the ending very overwhelming when it was coming to like lay out the who done it and why done it and all of that at the end. Even though it's under 300 pages, it still felt a little long to me. And maybe that was just because of like the description. This being the first in a series, it had a lot. It set up not only like our main character and why she was back in Shady Palms, but kind of like her family history and her history with different guys and different, you know, just different things. And then it had like lots of descriptions of food, which I loved. I am not complaining, but it also had a lot of descriptions of other businesses and other restaurants in the town. And I almost feel like, why does this need to be a series? You told me everything there is to know about every single resident in this town and every single like business in this town. I feel like a lot of it could have been cut. There didn't need to be so many suspects. There didn't need to be so many clues. There didn't need to be, I just think it was like very, very ambitious. And because it was so ambitious, it got a little muddled and a little like, it just felt long, you know? I will say that I really did appreciate the author's note. I did appreciate the glossary and pronunciation guide, and then at the end there are several recipes as well. So at the end you have this spiced banana bread, and then you have a coconut jam one, and then you have chicken adobo recipe down here. And yeah, those are the recipes. And that coconut jam sounds really, really good because I freaking love coconut, so I might actually have to make that. But there was a lot going on in here. I think that's just like the theme, is that it was a lot, but I did enjoy it. Turn off my air. Hello friends, I stopped off at the library, picked up my latest book page, and it's so exciting. They had a little interview with Taylor Jenkins Reid in here, which I read, and they have this great contemporary romance interview with this author. And then I was just reading The Devil Takes You Home, this little piece right here, because I did recently pick that up at Barnes & Noble. But the reason why I stopped off at the library in the first place is I needed to pick up some DVDs that I put on hold. So I got Friday the 13th, the original, Friday the 13th part 2, Friday the 13th part 3, and then I actually got the final chapter. I don't know if that's 4. I have them all written down in order at home. I have like a spreadsheet that I want to do. So with this franchise, I have seen parts of them. I don't think I've ever seen one start to finish, except for Jason vs. Freddy, because I specifically remember seeing that in the theater. But anyway, I just got finished binging Screams 1 through 5, and then I ranked them for my patrons, and I think I want to do the same with this franchise, this series. And I also want to do Halloween, and I also want to do Nightmare on Elm Street. But I think I want to start with Friday the 13th. I'm gonna do a reading update, which honestly, I don't really have that great of a reading update. I'm currently on chapter 2, page 22 of Dial A for Aunties. I basically had to read that portion twice because, in actuality, I've read like 44 pages just because I was really confused. I was listening to it on audio and maybe I had it bumped up too much. Maybe my attention span wasn't there. I don't know, but I bumped down the speed, read through it again, and it's okay. I don't like the initial setup, but I'm gonna go with it. I've heard it's funny. I'm gonna go with it, and I'm gonna rock my way through it. It's not like I'm not enjoying it. I'm just not that far into it. Anyway, I wanted to show you everything that I picked up at the stores today. Like I said, I went to the library to pick up some movies in the Friday the 13th franchise. I went to Old Navy and I got this knitted top, which I love. It's like this oatmeal color, and I think it will be a really good transition piece into fall. And then I also got a pair of boyfriend jeans. Not that I need any more jeans, but I love a fresh new pair of jeans. Door hanger. It's just like fall leaves, and it has jingle bells on it that we can hang on our front door. There you go. So it's a little glittery, and I think that'll be really pretty on our front door. And then I also got this mug, which, yes, and it's orange inside. And then everything else I got at home. So I picked up one of these for my mother-in-law. We had these last year. They smell like pumpkin spice. Well, just kind of spice really, but I think it says pumpkin spice. So yeah, I guess it is like a pumpkin spice. But anyway, I had one last year, gave one to my mother-in-law. We also had like the green ones that smelled like apples, and we actually liked the apple one better, and they didn't have that this year. They had acorns, autumn night, some other one, vanilla pumpkin, but I wanted to get one for my mother-in-law. These are huge. They're $25, but they're like bigger than Bath and Body Works candles, and they burn for like a really long time. I also picked up some Gary Popkins popcorn, which I love. I usually get the cheddar caramel like mix, but they didn't have that, so I just got the classic caramel. I also got this cute little owl statue for my bookshelf. I just think this is so cute. And since my patrons are the night owls, I don't know, I was just drawn to it for some reason. Anyway, and then look at this. It's like cute, but also scary. This little ghost. Look at him. And he was only $6.99. But like, how cute is he? So that's what he looks like. And then I also got three other things. I got this little candle. It says Poison Mossy Pine Hollow Scented Candle. I just liked the little picture right here, and you could take off the little cork and it's just like a candle, you know. I don't know exactly what it smells like. Mossy Pine Hollow, but I mean, they all smelled the same to me when I was smelling them in the store. It kind of has like a cologne smell, or like, I don't know what guys smell like. That's kind of what this smells like. Anyway, and then the last thing I got is I got this glass skull jar with, again, a little cork right here. But what I actually got this for is a candle holder, because I picked up the pillar candles, the black ones, and when you burn them, they look like they're bleeding. So yeah, bleeding tapers. So they had these in orange, black, pink. I almost got the pink ones because I thought the pink ones would be really, really pretty with like the pink and then the red. But I went with the black because Halloween. And the orange ones kind of looked brown, so I didn't love that. Although I liked the color on the outside, I was like, but then when they bleed, it's gonna look really weird. So I figured I could pop one of those. I did open the candles in the store, and they do fit in here, so then I'll burn that on this. So that is what I got right here, and these are the clothes, those are the movies, and yeah, so that's what I got when I was out at the store. Hello friends, I'm here with a little bit of an update, not much of one as far as reading is concerned. I'm on page 36, so I have managed to squeeze in a few pages today. It's just been a very busy day. I stayed up and watched Friday the 13th, the very first movie, and it was both a mix of hilarious but also scary. Especially that jump scare part. If you know, you know. Anyway, went to bed, woke up, had my dentist appointment today, so I was working on some things for my patron, my Patreon, all of that. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I have to run out the door right now for my dentist appointment. So I went to the dentist, got x-rays, got my teeth cleaned, and then to treat myself, as I usually do after my dentist appointments, because just takes a lot out of you, you know? I went to Barnes & Noble, and I had a specific book in mind that I wanted to see because I saw it in Book Pages the other day. It was a graphic novel that I have seen a couple times now. I saw it in the bookstore when I was there last time. Then I saw it in Book Pages, and I was like, you know what? I added it to my wish list. I obviously want it. It's a great thing to do to treat myself. So I went there with the graphic novel in mind, but then when I pulled up, I was like, also, I kind of want this other cozy mystery series. So I got the first book in that. And then while I was in the graphic novel section, I was like, I've also had my eye on this graphic novel. So I ended up walking away with 2 graphic novels in one book. Although I'm finding not that many people like graphic novels like I do. So if you're a graphic novel fan, definitely let me know down in the comment section. The book that I went in there for, the graphic novel I should say, is Crumbs by Danny Sterling. Oh my gosh, I think it looks so cute, but guys, look how thick it is. It is over 300 pages, almost 400 pages, but like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about it. It looks so cute. A little plus size lady on the front here. It looks like people of color falling in love just got sweeter. In a very special town, there's an even more unusual bakery with a selection of baked treats handcrafted to help your dreams come true. For Ray, a quiet young woman with special powers of her own, the order is always the same: a hot tea with a delicious side of romance. When Ray meets Lori, the kind barista who aspires to be a professional musician, she gets a real taste of love for the first time. And it's based off of a popular webtoon, the #1 digital comic app, averaging more than 10 million daily readers and 100 billion views annually. This is the print format for the first time, with gorgeous illustrations and exclusive new content sure to please fans new and old. So very, very excited to have this. I don't really look up webtoons and stuff like that. I much prefer physical copies of things. But with physical, I do listen to audios and stuff, but I'm not a fan of ebooks. So I do have a Kindle, but I'm not like on Kindle Unlimited or anything like that. I have read a few graphic novels and comics just on my phone through the Hoopla app, but I much prefer the physical book. So very excited about this. It just looks absolutely so cute, and I can't wait to dive into this. And then, oh, and it's actually a YA. It was in the YA graphic novel section. And also in the YA graphic novel section, I picked up On a Sunbeam by Tilly Walden. And this is the book that my library did not have a copy of when I read Are You Listening by the same artist here. But this is the one that I really wanted to read, and I've had on my wish list for a very long time, because it's like $22 for this graphic novel, you guys. But I really do like Tilly Walden's illustrations and color palettes and stuff. And this one is kind of sci-fi. So 2 timelines, 2 chances, 1 love. It's a slow burn romance and a found family space opera adventure with an engaging cast of characters in a gloriously strange setting. It's both brilliant and original, says Martha Wells, The Murderbot Diaries and the Book of Rakshura. All right, I got interrupted, but we're back now. Okay, and the book that I got is The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. Very excited about this. I've heard nothing but good things from Caitlin about this. And I know that it has like older characters. Yeah, in a peaceful retirement village, 4 unlikely friends meet weekly in the jigsaw room to discuss unsolved crimes. Together they call themselves the Thursday Murder Club. When a local developer is found dead with a mysterious photograph left next to his body, the friends suddenly find themselves in the middle of their first live case. They might be senior citizens, but they are cleverer than most. As the bodies begin to pile up, can our unorthodox but brilliant gang catch the killer before it's too late? I am so excited about this. It kind of reminds me of The Plot is Murder by V.M. Burns. The main character in that, I think it's her grandmother, has like a group of like women that are like in their 80s, 70s, 80s or whatever, and they are literally like my favorite part of that series. So I am so excited about this one. I've seen it around for a while, but Caitlin is the one that definitely influenced this purchase. Okay, friends, I have some unfortunate news. I kind of thought it was coming, but I was trying to give it a fair shot. I'm gonna be DNFing Dial A for Aunties by 𝒑𝒂𝒃. It started off okay, but I'm just not invested in the story. There's nothing drawing me back to the story or making me want to continue. Every time I put it down, I kind of am like, do I really want to go back and pick it up? I did manage to read to chapter 10. So I'm on chapter 10, page 86. And I think that is a fairly good shot. And I just don't care how anything ends. The murder, the love thing, the relationship, I don't know. I honestly don't care. So I think that's a sign that I need to DNF this book, and I'm gonna go more into my thoughts based off of another person's review that I read. But to wrap up the vlog, I actually had 2 DNFs in this video, which may seem bad, but they were both on my TBR, so they're both being taken off of my TBR, and I don't have to continue in these series. I did enjoy Arsenic and Adobo. It did have its faults. I thought it was a little too long and a little too descriptive for being a first book in a cozy mystery series, but I do want to continue in this series. So I got 1 out of 3 that I'm going to be continuing in, but I wanted to tell you, do I have my phone? Let me get my phone and I'm going to read somebody else's review about this book. So like I said, I wasn't enjoying this. I was kind of dreading picking it up. I was reading it very, very slowly. I wasn't invested in the dead body or the ants or the love thing from the past. So I'm gonna go ahead. So I was just trying to reach out to people and ask like what they thought about it. And a lot of people said it was kind of humorous, like Finlay Donovan is killing it, but I didn't get that vibe at all. So this is Colleen's review and she gave it 3 stars. So to me, 3 stars means that she liked it, but from her review, it doesn't seem like she really did. So she said, when I first started reading Dial A for Aunties, I was laughing so hard I thought I was going to pee my pants. Thankfully, I did not. I got excited as hell thinking I scored another Finlay Donovan book with dead bodies and humor, a perfect combination, and with some added Asian auntie flair. Sounds like a good time to me. My excitement did not last long though, and after the first couple of chapters, I felt a bit deflated. I never really got those humorous vibes. I never thought anything that happened was funny. I was just kind of going along with it, thinking maybe it gets better after the body, like, you know, once there's a murder or your mystery, I'm in a cozy mystery, then I find that the story like picks up from there, but it just didn't. So anyway, let's continue in the review. It says, Meddy's love life is in the toilet. She's still pining over Nathan, her college love, and won't give any other man a real try. In order to help Meddy find love, her mother signs her up on a dating website and springs the news that she has found the perfect man. In fact, they have a date to meet that night. Who cares that Meddy's mom has been talking to Jake for weeks, pretending to be Meddy, or that Jake has never even posted a picture? Meddy's mom is sure he's just shy and doesn't want her to be focused on looks alone. Somehow, even with all this, Meddy's mom and 3 aunties talk her into taking a leap of faith and meeting up with Jake, the mysterious rich bachelor who has at least captured Meddy's mom's heart. So that's kind of the premise of the book. And then their date goes horribly wrong and Meddy accidentally kills her man. And who does she call to help clean up the mess? You guessed it, the aunties. They come up with the perfect plan to protect Meddy. They'll hide his body inside Big Auntie's cake fridge until the biggest wedding of their careers is over, and then they can dispose of the body. So that is where I am in the book. For, you know, 80 some pages, that's what I've read. It's basically you get a past timeline of her in college with this guy Nathan, and it sounded like they were like perfect for each other because they started out as friends. And in the present timeline, she's not with anybody and her mom is trying to set her up on a date. She ends up creating this like online dating profile. She goes out on a date with this guy against her better judgment, and he ends up being a real creeper, and she ends up having to tase him and while he's driving, and he gets in a wreck and he dies, which I find hard to believe, but that's what happens. So yeah, that's basically my same thoughts. I will link her full review down in the description box if I remember. But yeah, it just wasn't for me. So a little bit lackluster of a reading vlog, but I got lots of other fun stuff done. So I definitely want to share this video with you guys in case you were considering one or more of these cozy mysteries. I'm probably just gonna go ahead and list this on my Pango books. So if you're interested in it, it sounds good to you, definitely check my Pango out. And yeah, that's all for this video. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're all having a lovely day or night, and I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye guys.